Can you all hear me out there in Streamland?
I think we can hear you, Conster. Oh, I can hear myself too now. I think we can hear you. But hello and good evening, good day, good time of day, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Speedgaming Live 2023 Mega Man 1 through 6 46 Robot Master Tournament. Tonight's race is between Beco and CynanMachae. I'm Mr. Cab, joined by Conster tonight. Conster, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to see a match.
This is going to be a match. I'm going to bring up the bracket really quick, but I believe are we in semis or we're still in quarterfinals?
Yeah, I believe we're still in quarters.
And this is for the right to face Shadow in the next round, who was triumphant a week or two ago. We have Cynan, who recently was in the Mega Man 6 role for the relay race we had earlier this year. He's got a PB in this category earlier today. He's ready to play. He's got the US card on the right side of your screen. And he might have one of the tallest orders in the whole tournament. What do you think, Conster?
Yeah, I think he's got his work cut out for him. Not only is Beco really good at this Mega Man game, he's good at all 6. So he's got his work cut out for him.
I was checking to confirm that Beco is still our world record holder for at least one of these games moving forward, and we'll mention it when we get there. He's number 2 in a third one, and it just keeps going.
It just keeps going.
But enough about that. Here we are in Cutman stage. We're in Mega Man 1. We're not messing around with guts or bomb firsts. Though Beco's skipping out on the corner jump, that's probably okay.
I don't blame him for it because I would go for it once and then I would probably just not go for it anymore. Because worst case scenario, you fall, scream back down.
Yeah, the vertical stages of Mega Man 1 are definitely a thing. Cynan getting knocked back off a ledge there. Oh, so there you go. Mega Man 1 does have the select trick to kind of cancel your knockback sometimes, or even sneak past enemies without them moving. But if you're caught by surprise, it's not the easiest thing to go and mash the select button of all things.
Yeah, if you're not prepared for it, it's just not something you're thinking about. So one thing about Mega Man 1 and 2, like you'll see a lot of them where they're jumping at the top of the screen, grabbing something at the bottom of the screen. So most NES games are connected top and bottom. So where you saw Beco jump earlier in the stage and grab the bottom ladder, that's what happened. So you want to talk about Cutman here, Mr. Cap?
I can talk about Cutman, though it is pretty much as easy as you see it. Just keep shooting him, keep him far away from you, and he will never actually try and jump over you. We've got the 2 Guts blocks behind us, and if we hit him with both of those, that would kill him, but you need the super arm from Gutsman to do it. Gutsman is our Buster-only boss for Mega Man 1. Which brings us to Elicman. If you thought Cutman had vertical screens that were annoying, you should look away.
Yeah, this is definitely a stage, and there'll be a section where we hope nobody fails coming up shortly in this stage.
Yeah, we don't want to see any falls here. Everybody working their way through the beams. I think Beco's going to try and get away with doing this, and you can kind of just see a mini optimization here. Beco, every time he shoots, is jumping off the ladder and re-grabbing it. Was able to actually even push select there when he missed, Cynan falling down the ladder. Beco just jumped the wrong way, or?
I don't know if that was on purpose or...
I don't think that could be on purpose, the way he was on the left side and then sort of just decided at the last minute he was going to go right. Cynan able to briefly take, well, I'm going to say briefly, but he's either way, he's in the lead for the moment, you know, in Robot Master 2 of 46.
He's got it temporarily, and he's
And there it
getting
goes.
back.
One other thing here, you see the runners kind of jumping up the ladders. Of course, climbing the ladders is slow, and of course, grabbing the ladder at the very top can pop you up a little quicker, and kind of like this.
Okay, Becco's in and out. So basically, what we're doing here is called the magnet grab. You don't want to move too far to the left, otherwise you can get stuck in the what's referred to as NDGL, and there's no other option. There's no passwords. You have to reset.
Cynan taking a little longer to get in there, but he did get the beam. Magnet beam is a great utility item. It makes platforms. It's great for just getting around in general, and that's before we even talk about glitches. And when we get into Iceman stage, you're gonna see some fun ones.
Big guy not playing, being a homie for Becco. But here's some utility of the magnet beam climbing up this long corridor. And that was clean.
You know, jumping right past those beams of electricity, which those hurt. They knock you down. Of course, having to wait for them also annoying. Beco taking out Elec Man. I'm always terrified when I see somebody do it, which is most top level runs of Mega Man 1, not using any select tricks to just take out Elec Man. They just kind of stare him down, like daring Elec Man to hit him.
It's like I got this. Like, come on. It's like, what you got?
Cynan matching that Elec kill.
I give him kudos for going prop for prop on for what Becco's doing.
So we're in Iceman stage. So first of all, like we said, just pure utility, no tricks. Just going over the water. Well, there's a trick. I almost sound disappointed there was a trick. But there we go, and he's going to do this little trick there.
Oh, okay, there he goes.
So the magnet beam can be placed at a particular height so that Mega Man's head is kind of, sort of, I guess it's hitting the floor screen wrapped. I don't even know, but you can jump on it without the game stopping you from jumping on it. Like Mega Man gains an extra pixel of height once he's standing, and that's enough to zip. It's something weird. That's the output of it, and it's really good. You might see some corridor zips here, which is a much better demonstration of what I was trying to talk about.
I'm actually shocked that I'm shocked but not shocked that Becco decided to skip the refill.
Refill's slow. I'm not sure what happened to Cynan there, but
yeah, I think he didn't think he had it and jumped and just got screen wrapped.
yeah, pixel perfect beam placement allows Robot to somehow zip. We get to see a lot more of that here in Fireman stage, where right away there are some slower ladder setups, or you could jump and do it until you hit it, just like that. Cynan also with the Iceman kill, exploiting the select glitch with Elec Beam, which is something I think a lot of people at least somewhat casually know about, but usually in conjunction with the Yellow Devil boss later on more than other robots. Echo trying to set up a zip here. Looks like he's falling down a little bit, so he's just gonna go.
Okay.
That's my favorite zip in the game right there.
That zip's free. Literally all you have to do is one of two ways. Do what he did, or just stand and fall over the pit.
It has to be standing off a magnet beam. You need to have some falling velocity to trigger it. But yeah. Here comes the long fire zip. Again, we're kind of exploiting that ladder grab off the bottom of the screen at a pixel perfect height to climb up. There's no floor there, so you've got to use that magnet beam to somehow survive and jump off of it in time while you're zipping. It's crazy.
Yeah, but there's also a chance where you grab it too high, and the moment that you press left, you'll immediately fall to your doom.
Select glitch, not just for Elec Beam.
It's for everything, and he just made Fireman look like a joke.
Cynan's gonna go the long way here.
I don't blame him.
The long fire zip is probably the riskiest trick in, I'd even say the entire game. Not just this category.
If it's something you're not comfortable with, I would just completely avoid it.
There are some magnet beam tricks for quote-unquote zipless there that do make it a little quicker, just jumping through the maze of blocks, avoiding the enemies. Not a big deal, though, because we're only really talking about like a couple of seconds as opposed to the entire zip, which saves a billion seconds.
Yeah, it saves you... I don't know the exact time, but it basically saves that whole, like, walking around.
Yeah, that is a lot of time you save getting that. And right there is another select glitch. I think we like file it under glitches for glitchless just because it's too easy to exploit and it's too easy to not do at all. But Mega Man 1, the only Mega Man game that has sort of a just pause button with the select button, and they just didn't implement it properly. It's enemy iframes just continue to run out while it's active.
So
there's the bomb zip.
So one thing that you saw beco place two small beams, so he had a platform to stand, because the magnet beam, even though it looks like it's solid, it alternates, so there's a chance that you can fall through. That was a really good bomb, man.
Very clean. See, the bomb zip is again sort of landing beams at the right height. There's a few visual cues on the ladder and using the score to place this beam properly. And again, come over to Discord. We'll be happy to help you learn how it works too. But you get up there, you make sure you look left to get the zip, and you need to push select really so that Mega Man's briefly invincible, because you might notice Mega Man's in the middle of a bunch of spikes right there. If you don't use select to get off the ladder, the game, it still tries to zip Mega Man because he's in the floor and he's not going to crush him, but it will say, oh wait, there's spikes here. Of course, we're talking about all this while beco is just using the magnet beam to really walk over the entire first half of Gutsman stage. It's a Mario World flyover level now. Gutsman is the zipless first robot you fight, but it's really convenient to have magnet beam here. It's just that traditionally you need either Guts or Elec to get through those blocks in Elec Man stage. Yes, Elec's weapon in Elec Man stage.
Zip.
There's a corridor zip.
So do you think, Mr. Cab, beco is going to get aforementioned grab?
He might. That's gonna be a trick. Yeah. Gutsman's a jerk. He's just gonna go straight to Buster after the first two hits. Hyper Bomb, still my vote for worst weapon in this entire series. I'm looking at you, Water Wave. I'd rather have Water Wave most of the time than Hyper Bomb.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna make a few Mega Man 5 runners really mad by saying that, but there you go. So there was a question in chat earlier about timing between games. Concert, I believe it's 20 seconds that we're...
it is 20 seconds between... They have to wait 20 seconds between each game.
Yep. Kind of allowing for sane hardware swaps, allowing people to kind of take a minute there. No advantage built in for scripting out any other sort of automation. Nope, 20 seconds. runners do have the option of playing on either, really any version, any difficulty of Mega Man 2, as long as it's on NES version of it. So they could be playing on normal, where shots do double damage, but then you also have to sit through ridiculously long English weapon get, item get cutscenes. Cynan now also in this Gutsman fight. Gutsman, again, still a jerk. And Cynan kind of showing off here exactly why Beco switched to Buster, at least for a moment.
Yeah, so runners for Mega Man 2 have the option of using US or Japanese card.
Well, there we go.
It's up to their preference. And Cynan decided to go US.
So yeah, Beco will have the advantage of much shorter Dr. Light, get your weapons ready cutscenes, but because Cynan's going to be doing twice as much damage to bosses, you're going to see Cynan only needs to hit Flashman 7 times. Beco's got to hit him 14 times. Let's go!
And shoutouts to the birds on Cynan's side.
No, shouts the birds.
That was such a clean fight.
That was a very clean fight from Beco. You trick with Flashbans, every time you hit him, he jumps. And you can use that knowledge to your advantage to make that fight go a little bit smoother. You don't want to get flashed. Nobody ever wants to get flashed.
So now that we have item 3 in Mega Man 2,
I'm a little surprised I didn't grab that one up.
Beco is going to be heading over to Heatman, where we will be doing our first zip.
Yep. Heatman. Well, there's a one-up for Beco. There are zips that are going to be coming up in later stages that require some intentional deaths. So having a few extra one-ups in your back pocket, usually a pretty good idea for this run. There's a few that are somewhat in the way. It's a very nice flash fight from Cynan there.
Nice item 3 throw on the Beco side.
And you've got that free one-up in the way. It's almost like, grab it. It's right there. So Beco needs to get this item 3 to go down a little bit. Gets into the ceiling there because the game doesn't know how to crush Mega Man or do anything else yet. And once you're up there, once Mega Man sort of pops up into the distance, you tap A, you tap left. About 4 to 7 frames later, that is an accurate statement. And Mega Man will zip. Don't tap left sooner or later.
Clean Yoku section.
Another little thing there from Beco. Mega Man 2, our physics are always slightly different across all these games, right? If you pause in Mega Man 2 in the air, it resets Mega Man's falling velocity, unlike Mega Man 1 and 3, where Mega Man seems to drop like a rock when he comes out of pause.
No pun intended. So, Cynan just decided he's going to Airman second, which is probably the easier option of the two. Especially if you're not going to be using item 1 through Airman.
Yeah. The major route variance we should be seeing here is going to air second or going to heat second. And we got to see Beco do the Yoku block because he did not have item 2 from Airman. Cynan will have item 2 from Airman, and it's just going to jump right over all of that mess. And you might say, well, Conster, Mr. Cab, that's a really great option to skip a Yoku block section. I mean, we all know the wonders of the top first Mega Man 3 route. Why would you ever go through that Yoku block section? Conster, why would we go through it?
Because it's faster.
Oh, that's what they all say. Come on.
Because we're gonna be using item 1 to skip that entire screen where you saw Cynan you just waiting on those
the lightning words. Yeah.
So you'll see the complete difference between Beco's side and Cynan's side.
Yep. using... Oh, we got the despawn. Very nice.
We got the despawn.
Cynan with an airman fight going on the other side of the screen, which I hate to say, especially because he's on normal difficulty, is not that exciting. Good kill from Cynan, though. Good kill.
And phenomenal work from beco.
Yeah, beco, forget the Yohu block section. The Lightning Lord section is even slower. And there are some ridiculous time saves. It's really it's such a wild swing because in each side you save double-digit seconds, but then lose double-digit seconds on the other side. So.
What's with these drops? Mega Man, Rockman 2's not supposed to have this like drop rate.
That's actually true, everybody. Mega Man 2 on normal difficulty has a higher drop rate. You get a lot more big drops than Rockman 2 on the difficult setting. And I mean, you know, extra refills for Airman in particular are actually kind of nice. This is a fight where you often have low health. You want a damage boost off those tornadoes as they're flying past you so you can walk through the next wave because they deflect buster shots. You want to get close to Airman, get in his face. Don't let him blow you away. But yeah, normally that drop rate is a detriment to a speedrun because you don't want to be sitting there listening to the sound effect for an hour while you're trying to get through the game fast. See Cynan's heat zip here. There's a specific spot on the wall you're looking for, like Mega Man's toe to kind of be even with as a visual cue. And at that point, you could shoot it on the wall. Item 3 automatically climbs the wall. That item 2 is far away. He wants the 1-up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that just feels like such a risk.
Well, it's not as much of a risk as it seems, because if the item 2 despawned from hitting a wall, it would have been before he was over the lava.
I'm kind of surprised that beco did not go for the biggie.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't feel it. beco not able to get the sort of low-hanging wall entry there, so he reset the entire screen. It's worth it to do that over pausing and killing the tellies and trying to reset the room. It's too big a pain.
So you're asking why he charged heat and he just immediately respawns. So heat has the ability, if you're holding it and you let go of it when you die, you just instantly respawn.
So the sound effect from heat sort of overtakes the death sound. And when that sound effect ends, the game says, oh, sound ended. I guess I should respawn Mega Man now. It's actually faster to switch to heat and go through that entire process than it is to let the death sound play. So a lot of times when a runner needs to take an intentional death in Mega Man 2, you will see them switch to heat. And you'll be thinking, what? That's why they're doing it. The rest of Crashman stage, you saw a lot of item 1, a lot of item 3. There's a lot of tricks to what's going on there, like making sure you manipulate which way the birds are facing so that you can jump past them quicker. Item 3, Woodman's weapon, if you're playing a little more casually, are all excellent options there. Crashman's going to die in 3 hits of the air shooter. You want to get a double hit if you can, but oh well. Let's talk about this zip for a second here. Cynan, you want that item 1 again outside the wall so that Mega Man can't stand under the wall, get in there. That was a B trigger to tap B and then left, as long as that arm is out. And now we're in the wall. Mega Man's actually walking through future screens. As much as it looks like he's kind of still there, the game's just tracking an X position further and further into the stage. And once we're at that midway point, we kind of grab the ladder that doesn't look like a ladder, go down. The game tries to scroll down. There's nowhere to scroll down. Well, must be a pit. And then you respawn at the midway point. Simple, right?
That works for me. There's a video on YouTube somewhere that explains it in relative ease. I can't remember the person's name, but it really explains how the zips work.
I know Duckfist's tutorial is still out there, and it's really good, especially for Woodman, but I want you to watch the screen here on beco's side. You see it's kind of on one screen, and then it kind of whoop, back to the another screen. Beco's walking along the screen that you saw appearing, but then, you know, the game graphically kind of knows he's supposed to be on this screen. That screen wrap to the left puts him back on the correct screen, which again is needed because when we get to the bottom, there's not going to be a screen to scroll down to. So
It
here
was
we go.
a bit of a jumbled mess. Do you think beco is going to go for the zip?
I don't think he did last time.
It looks like he's going.
I don't know if that was a fake out or if he just slipped off the edge.
I think he fell there.
So there is a zip there to get to the boss corridor, but you must tap right at the edge of the screen, or you need to, in most situations where that happens, you need to take a death or do something to sort of reset everything. On that particular zip, there's no space to take a death, so you are soft locked, and you would have to reset the game, put in the password to come back here, and nobody wants to do that. So of all the zips to not go for in this race, that's the one.
I think it's kind of fortune favoring the bold, you know?
Fortune favors the bold. That takes me back.
Yeah, it's favoring him that he fell off. I would highly doubt that he would have overzipped, but still.
Oh, mistakes happen all the time. One other thing they are doing here, you're going to see sign in zip. Well, sign in, please zip. You see that little pause halfway through the zip? That's what turns the lights back on. That makes it a little easier to see what's going on. So sign in hopefully will pull off the same feat that beco did. Flash is actually required there as well. Beco's doing wood zips, by the way.
He's
so
doing
again,
he's doing dog zips. But
dog zips.
But slightly messed up on...
Nice recovery.
Yes, absolutely awesome recovery.
So I want you to try and mentally grasp all that knowledge I imparted here about how zips work, because there's really no way to quickly describe the wood zip. That is what's going on here. He's walking through later screens of the stage. Like I've kind of mentioned earlier, Duckfist, noted great Mega Man speedrunner. Oh my goodness. He almost fell out of the zip there. This is
new?
I want to see how he handles this.
I don't know what's going on.
He might be in a bad spot here.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, he's taking a death. So again, when you zip into a weird spot and there's really kind of no way to continue, your best option is to find some enemies, get hit a lot, and take a death. And this is where we get back to he got that one up earlier. Remember when I said, hey, he got a one up? Because you need to take an intentional death, you need to have an extra life to complete the zip. So here you go. As I was saying, Duckfist has a great tutorial out there for Mega Man 2. It has a lot of information about what's actually going on here. Sign and nailing the metal zip, which, by the way, is the single longest horizontal script in the game. Zip in the game. There's a ladder in the bottom left there. Beco needs to go down.
I don't think Beco...
He might not know about it. So Beco should be putting in a password to get past those 5 robots again. So this is a huge opening for Cynan. Let's go. By the way, shoutouts to the Mega Man homepage, out there since the late 1990s with the password generator that we've all been able to use across all of the years. It is definitely a thing to kind of know where your Mega Man password generators are. And we thank whoever's been maintaining the Mega Man homepage this entire time for decades. But here we go. Beco's got to take a deep breath here. Meanwhile, Cynan done with Metal Man stage, going into Woodman stage. So he's a robot ahead all of a sudden.
He's taking the lead, just an ever slight lead.
So what happened to Beco? There's a part of the Goodwood zip where you're going through ceiling area. You kind of do the same thing that was done way back in Elecman stage to trigger a zip. And you kind of pause in the middle of that zip to reset Mega Man's falling velocity again. Because again, in Mega Man 2, you pause, it resets it. So that keeps you in the ceiling just a little bit longer so you can grab a ladder on the right edge of the screen. Of course, you can't see that ladder because we're in Zip Land. But if you miss that ladder, there's really no way up to it. The game kind of knows that you're in the wall, so it won't let you throw an item 1 or an item 2 or anything else. So your only option then, and this is that part of the zip right there that beco just pulled off effortlessly this time, right? If you know about it, there is a ladder that goes down on the left side of that screen. And you can use that ladder. Again, you scroll. That's a really early pause from Cynan. He's paused again. You can use that ladder to go down, and again, the game won't remember that. We'll know that there's nowhere to scroll down to, and we'll say, oh, it must be a pit. One other note about this long zip. Oh my god, Cynan, why?
What? I missed it. Was it super close?
That was very late. You have a 2-screen width to take that death on that last screen. Because if you go too early, you haven't gone far enough to the right in the stage's memory to be in the boss corridor. If you do it too late, a very bizarre thing about the way Mega Man 2's mapped out internally, you'll beam into Wily 3, except it will be a very bizarre, like, Rotten Woodman stage palette of Wily 3, and you really do have to reset. So,
yeah, so you just want to like drop down right after that low-hanging platform. You don't have to go any further than that.
Yeah, it's like I said, you have a 2-screen width while you're zipping along very fast. Mega Man runners who have done this a lot kind of know where to go for it. But you sign it. That was a little late. That was a little late.
Do you think I'm signing is Team A trigger or Team B trigger here?
A trigger. B trigger saves what, frames at the risk of getting spiked?
Yeah.
Is that
I
item
think
one?
That one's a little low.
Yeah. Cucumber. Just say cucumber while you jump up. You'll get the item 1 in the right spot. I forget who told me that one.
I'll try that next time I play Mega Man 2.
So we didn't talk about Metal Man at all. If you're wondering why Metal Man didn't jump, just hold the B button the next time you fight him. But we're in Bubble Man stage now.
And Beco is right on his heels.
The audio cue of Bubba from Prissy is for Mega Man 1. I use that one too. Wow, the waterfall is destroying bitrate for me right now.
It's destroyed.
I don't know if that's just the commentary stream or not, but oh god.
I think it's just our side.
Here's Bubble Man. Bubble Man's weak to Metal Blade. End of story.
And Cynan's going into Mega Man 3. I literally have Bubble Man in my splits as bitrate man.
So yes, Beco's reset in Mega Man 2 was because he fell into the big pit in the Woodman zip. There is a way out of it without resetting. Beco might just not know about it, and we'll let him know after the race where the backup strat is. Know your backups, everybody. So, just proof for everyone that even our top level runners sometimes don't know where the last backup is.
Mega Man 2.
So don't feel too bad.
Yo!
Beco nailing the item 2 zip. You love it.
Yes.
You need iframes to do that. That's why that setup looks so awkward. Because again, you're zipping along with spikes, so that's rough. Meanwhile, Cynan's in Magnet Man stage. Mega Man 3, another game that probably out of all the NES Mega Man games brings the route wars. So which route are you going to take through this game? Magnet first. Probably the Nintendo Power route. It's a very effective route. Magnet Man does take 2 damage to the Buster.
You always go Gemini first.
Oh my goodness.
Or you could go top 4 first. Or the absolute god tier route. Needle first.
Unfortunately, Eldra is not here to defend himself, so we can mock Needle First mercilessly. Needle First is surprisingly effective, though, because you get Rush Jet, which allows you to skip sections like this Yoku block section Cynan just jumped through. Like I kind of was alluding to earlier with Heatman and going through that, top first is the current world record route. Just because you have Rush Jet for a lot of the sections, you have weapons that work against Robot Masters most of the time. The drawback is that you have to mash a lot in this route. There's a lot of required buster kills of a lot of hit points, starting with the cats on the next screen here. Good magnet fight from Cynan, by the way.
So the one thing is we might not be able to tell who's ahead or who's behind until they're out of Mega Man 3 because the routes are so different.
That's fine. Beco going for the single block slides already. Oh my goodness.
What a madman.
Mega Man 3 physics changes. The slide exists. We have Rush. If you are on the English cart, which I think Cynan is because it says Mega Man, not Rockman in the background, your iframes just vanish when you come out of the pause menu for some reason. But oh my goodness, I don't even remember what I was going for anymore. Sliding, single tiles. When you go into a slide, you can't jump for the first 8 frames of that slide. Someone out there in chat can probably tell me exactly how many frames you're sliding on a single tile, but it's not that many more than 8.
I wonder if Colonel Fatso knows they're in chat.
I wasn't going to name names, but... Cynan most of the way through Hardman stage at this point, which to this point has been Rush Coil the stage. I kind of like it that there's this whole stage and across the run where you basically use Rush Coil the whole time. Beco is in Shadow Man stage, so while Cynan's going to get one more screen of bees and get to fight Proto Man, well actually Beco's also going to get to fight Proto Man.
Shout out to Proto Man.
The Colonel is letting me know it's a good handful of frames. Beco's in the dark screen of Shadow Man. This is a very sort of laggy screen as these things. At the top, the disco balls just black out the room. You can't see what's going on. The enemies are laggy. So there's a lot of... You have to know exactly what's going on. This is usually where I say this game is literally crafted from lag, but everybody's heard me talk about that 5 times across this tournament by now. So there's your one mention for this race. The game is crafted from lag.
Oh. No.
Cynan out of magnets manages to kill Hardman. Beco obviously taking that death there. So I said earlier, Hyper Bomb easily the worst weapon in this entire series. But what about Topspin? Conster, what do you think about Topspin?
It's a weapon?
It wasn't doing its job there. Topspin is actually an amazingly powerful weapon. It's largely misunderstood. But when it connects, it does kind of send you over to the left a little bit. And Beco, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, Beco? So you think Beco's a slight bit on tilt?
A little bit at this point. So this screen is one where if you're going for the record, right, you are attacking those jumps. You're jumping right through those parachutes. That's the enemy's name. And hoping Topspin doesn't kill you. But even on the second time through, you should be taking it a little cautiously. Beco's having a really race here. But he's powering through. Very good Shadow Man kill. So Beco's already proven, after basically dominating everything in Mega Man 2 after that Woodman zip, that he's not going to let a simple thing like, you know, a few deaths stop him from going for it. And
there's plenty of game left.
Yeah. So Cynan here gets to use... Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh
He
god.
grabbed the very bottom of the ladder. Cynan got to use magnet on the cats, so we were talking earlier about top first is the masher's route, and magnet first is a much more forgiving route. That's one of the many reasons why. You switched music?
Yes, I am switching over to our good friend, Gemini, because now you get to hear nothingness, because we jumped through and despawn the music, and music is lag in Mega Man 3. It lagged.
We did say that the game was literally crafted from lag. That includes the music. It's actually true that the music playing lags the game, and by silencing the game, by basically skipping that cutscene trigger. We're listening to Proto Man's theme right now. You might not know it, but it's a much smaller piece, I guess.
And it creates those penguins. It jumbles them up a little bit.
Beco, you've had a couple of rough experiences. He's still going for these slides. I love it. This is the room where it's very easy to just kind of make the call to Rush Marine. We only really get this one screen to see Rush Marine in this run. Beco's having none of it.
I thought he was gonna make the call. He decided, nope, not today.
Two Shadow Blades to kind of time out the jump over the big Stomper robot.
And here's Gemini. So Gemini Man will fire a shot every time you fire.
And Shadow Blade is a nice soft weakness for him. Does 2 points of damage instead of 1.
That fight is not the most fun doing Buster only. Oh no!
Oh, Cynan, no!
He got the little drop.
So the drops are the main reason that section can be kind of scary, because if you're not just holding A through the whole thing, you can get tagged by one of those drops. Honestly, if you're sliding off the edge, your feet can tag one of the drops, and you might not jump at all.
Cynan got bailed out by a big drop.
So whereas Beco is trying to use top spin through those enemies so that it's one menu before the boss, the magnets are significantly safer, but you still have to watch out for those drops.
This one palette Beco's keeping on screen.
Oh my goodness. Needle, sometimes called Friedel for fun, the shortest Robot Master stage, at least for the first 8. Cynan is through, gonna go to Gemini Man in the near future. Have just enough lasers here, maybe a couple of extra. Magnet.
I think he has 2 spares.
I think so. Cynan's gonna get to use some magnet to conserve laser ammo. Oh no! Why? Oh no! The dodge. So, oh no! The Gemini laser is extremely laggy. Does Beco have an E-tank? He might not.
No, I don't think so. Now he has to do this by Buster only.
Oh my goodness. So the easy E-tanks to grab in Mega Man 3 are in Hard Man stage. It's in the way. Cynan has it. Beco hasn't been to Hard Man stage yet. The other 2 are in Gemini Man stage. One's in the water, so you usually skip it if you go top. But you have that other one up on the blocks. It's a good back.
I did not know about the Shadow Man soft weakness.
I didn't either. So we're all learning some things today. By the way, shoutouts to our Big 20 competitors out there who are being asked to fight Needleman Buster only.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah, I
So
definitely
we're gonna bring
feel-
back the Gemini Man music.
Yeah, so this is the music you don't get to hear that you didn't hear on Beco's side.
Cynan gonna go top route.
Especially with the music playing? Or is he just going for the E-Tank?
So he's gonna rush coil to get the E-Tank. You can screen wrap to grab it, which is a weird thing. It comes into play a lot more. A lot of people who know the full game know about the screen wrap item grabs in Dock Needle, notably. But it works just fine here in Gemini Man stage as well. Why is the music playing? Cynan either didn't go for or did not get the jump. He definitely didn't get it, because he didn't even jump. You have to be sliding through that screen transition into the Proto Man cutscene to jump out of it. There's Beco just giving Needleman the business on the second attempt.
Second time's the charm.
So Cynan entering the stage, Beco is leaving, but Cynan also has Magnet Man and Hard Man down. So he's still ahead by a stage, even if things look a little wonky right now. Beco's going to Snake Man, making me wish we had stayed with his music a little bit longer, but we're going to stay with the leader here in Cynan. Snake Man, for my money, probably the best music on the NES.
Do you think we'll get Snake Zips?
I think we will. I think he went for them last time.
Easy.
How does that even work?
All I know, it has something to do with the going up and down of the body.
Cynan getting to use magnets again, showing the just the utility of magnet missile as a really good weapon, which is one of the reasons the magnet first route remains an extremely viable route, even if it's definitely not your record route. Beco showing off a couple of other things about Rush in Snake Man stage here that you might not be noticing if you don't know to look for it. If you are in a slide with Rush on the screen and you just press start, Rush is going to despawn, which is great because Rush lags the game. So just another one of the little optimizations you'll see in a couple of spots.
And in Mega Man 3, Rush can move in any of the four directions, up, down, left, or right. And even going in diagonals as well.
Needleman jumping over Beco's lasers, jumping into Cynan's lasers.
I
What
guess
is going on?
he wasn't so much Friedel today for Beco.
I guess I have to take the blame on the whole thing now, don't I? What do I owe Beco? Like, I owe him a drink.
I guess you do.
I owe him a drink. The setup for Proto Man and skipping Proto Man and Gemini Man stage, it's not that hard. You literally just kind of slide. It's just also easy to like either forget about or just miss. Like it's going to happen every now and again. And again, I don't know if Cynan. There comes a point where you walk onto that screen, and the question is, did you just forget to slide? Did you just not jump at the right point? Cynan, he's trying to just slide through this too. Here's where I was saying earlier, how does this even work? He's through. Beco is in Magnet Man's stage.
And getting Pro Man the business.
So they are currently both in a stage the other one has completed.
I think these are the last three for Beck. I don't know about Cynan.
Yeah, Cynan has Snake and Spark. Beco has Magnet, Spark, and Hard. Here's Beco with Rush Jet here in Magnet. This is one of the primary benefits of going to Needle before Magnet in some capacity. You just get to fly over those blocks. Cynan with the more traditional giant snake skip, using Rush Jet over the top of the screen.
It looked like beco was trying to get on Rush Jet, but just was having some issues.
I say more traditional, but the zip is decidedly faster. And Cynan here at the end of Snake Man stage, jumping off the top of the screen to reduce lag because the game doesn't have to draw Mega Man. Also, you dodge all the enemies while you're at it, so why not? beco with a very fast kill of Magnet Man. Turns out when you have a weakness weapon, Magnet Man dies a lot faster. Snake and Needles, it's really not... It's not a very interesting fight over the Buster fight in that it's the same fight, you just do a lot more damage. Snake Man's still kind of a pain to dodge everything he throws at you, though. Between the random amount of hits it takes to kill one of the small snakes, the lag it may or may not generate. Bleh. beco,
Oh.
Not the bees! It just doesn't... It wants to keep spawning.
He created more bees.
My goodness. beco's having a day. And he is powering through it all the same, but... Shadow Blade, the choice here over Magnets for taking out the early bees. Both still pretty effective. Cynan at the end of Mega Man 3, at least for the 8 robots in Sparkman stage. A stage where, again, Magnet is the order of the day. beco hasn't been here yet. Both routes, these two routes at least, do Spark last. Or at least 7th, I think. Because there comes a point where it doesn't really matter which one you do. I think it's faster to do Snake before Spark because of some obscure menuing input count or something.
Yeah, I think it's just one menu input. From my knowledge, I can't recall.
Yeah, it's something silly like that. But, yeah, here we go. I'm going to blow up some garbage blocks because it turns out garbage blocks lag the game. I lied earlier, by the way, when I said I wouldn't talk about it anymore. Alright, I jinxed beco. Cynan on the screen where you can show that the speedrunning strat is so much easier than trying to do anything casually. Just do what he's doing here. And this screen is free. Literally free. I can't believe I didn't knock him into the pit.
Yeah, just don't slide on the elevator.
That screen, seriously, though, is actually like painful to try and do without Rush Jet or doing it any other way. And then you see a speedrunner do that and you realize it really is that easy.
Yeah, I remember when I was trying to learn 3 and I just kept having trouble with it. And
the Colonel in chat always helping me out with this stuff, mentioning that it's a specific menu to Rush Jet in Magnet that becomes one input faster if you don't have Spark yet.
It seems like Colonel's like our third man on comp.
He is, and you can see the Colonel in his race on September 6th at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's our next scheduled race for this tournament, so be there for that. Be there for that before I complain that Cynan is doing Bright first in Mega Man 4. It's actually a good route. Your two routes for Mega Man 4 are Bright first and Pharaoh first. It's really kind of it's almost a matter of preference which one you want to do. If you're not going for some really insane, spooky race strats.
Or you're just doing it out of habit.
Yeah, I absolutely need Pharaoh for Brightman stage. Mega Man 4 physics changes. We have a charge shot. It does a lot of damage. We like it. Slide is also a different distance now. These grasshoppers, they might go fast, they might go slow. They also, they're left over from Mega Man 3. They lag the game. Whoa! What a jump!
I didn't think that was gonna make it.
He's gonna take the hit off of that that totem pole ball. I don't know what else to call it, and use that to damage boost across the spikes because he had a slow grasshopper. This enemy on this jump right here is the reason I will always go to Pharaoh first. Hold right on this platform. That little zip, mini zip, always works. It's great. beco taking out Sparkman. Despite all of beco's trials and tribulations, And not that Cynan hasn't made a couple of mistakes too, but they are both in Mega Man 4 now. So, Brightman. Conster, you got this, or should we talk about getting flashed?
I know there's 4 different values you want to avoid being at, so you'll start with a uncharged shot, and then the rest you'll just charge, shot him, and then he'll never hit those specific values. So
you got it. Those specific values, I believe, are 16, 8, and 4 hit points. The charge shot, whether it's Pharaoh or the Buster, does 3 points of damage. So Robot Masters have 28 hit points. Mega Man also has 28 hit points. And so all you want to do is make sure you hit him with one just normal shot to do 1 point of damage somewhere in the first 4 hits. And you will never get flashed.
I did not realize that Beco does Bright First.
Yeah, Bright First is a really strong route, primarily because of this first screen of Pharaoh. You might be saying, well, that's also Pharaoh's weakness, but it's really slow to kill Pharaoh with Bright, so we're going to still use the Buster. But you see here, we flashed the screen, and all those scorpions that are supposed to be here giving us a hard time, those bees, they're all just stuck. Makes this screen significantly faster and easier, to the point that unless, again, you're going for some really crazy strats in Bright, using the balloon adapter that Cynan just picked up, the routes are almost the same time, I'm pretty sure. It's such a minor, if any, difference.
Yeah, so the longer you're sliding, the longer it takes for Bright to actually count down. So I think it's only counting down when you're not sliding.
Yeah, and that's going to become a lot more apparent in some of the later stages. Bright, I think, is only supposed to last about 5 seconds, but if you're sliding, those 5 seconds just are on pause while you're sliding.
It feels like an eternity.
You can get through entire long screens as long as you're sliding. Nice kill from Beco. One other thing we didn't talk about, Cynan didn't get the pixel. Oh my god, Cynan, watch those jumps. Beco looks like he has it, so there's no jump up animation. Beco just kind of appeared in the middle of the screen. Every time you get one of those, it saves between 1 and 2 seconds. It's something like that. So across a full run of Mega Man 4, you know, multiply that by 8. Even for this category, multiply it by 7. It's kind of neat. So Cynan into Pharaoh Man. Pharaoh Man's a jerk who likes to jump around a lot. We did hit him with 1 lemon, not because there's a specific value like with Brightman, but because he was going to have 1 hit point left over anyway, so we might as well hit him with a lemon. Cynan's in a little bit of trouble here.
Okay.
Wisely staying in the corner, not trying to push it, because if he got hit by the full charge Pharaoh shot, he would have exploded, and we don't want that to happen. So Cynan, again, not able to find the pixel. Does the normal jump there. And it's worth noting for Pharaoh Man and Dive Man, there's a little bit of a bonus you might be able to get to skip the whole animation entirely and just beam out. The Pharaoh one's actually kind of tricky to get, but... Beco riding the spike platforms here.
So
he's not rushing it. There are some strats here to get those bullets to not fire, which just saves a couple of frames of lag or something like that. He's not even bothering with it. Honestly, given his race so far, I don't blame him.
Yeah, even with everything that's happened with Beco, he's only a stage behind, and we still got 3 more games. So
Cynan has the balloon, is using Bright strats on the early screens of Ring. Not a huge difference. Bright is the second best option by far. Just a choice, I guess, there. Bright is sort of the ultimate backup for most things Mega Man 4. So here we go. He's still using Bright. Let's go. Work this thing.
Yeah, I've never seen people use this much Bright. Usually
I've not either, so let's go.
It's usually like 1 or 2 screens.
So one advantage to that is the weapon you would immediately switch to at the Hippo usually is Pharaoh Shot. And Ringman stage with all the damage boosts through bosses and mid-bosses and enemies, it's very almost exactly routed, where you will often end this stage with no Pharaoh ammo remaining and 2 hit points. So, by not using Pharaoh immediately... that drop. By not using Pharaoh immediately, you have more ammo to kill Ringman with, which, you know, it's not a bad safety to have in your back pocket. One thing we haven't really talked about yet is that in Mega Man 4, every boss except Pharaoh Man does 8 hit points of contact damage. So it's a very damaging game. Beco!
What are you doing, Beco?
Beco, he got the wall jump and then just couldn't grab the ladder. So Cynan making short work of Ringman. I think that was a slightly safer pattern, and that's fine. So Pharaoh Shot, we haven't really talked about it yet. You got that orb over your head, it does damage. If you hit something with it, that's great. Oh my goodness. You can see even with Beco here, when he fired the normal shot, it destroyed 2, because there was the one over his head and the one that actually got fired. They both count. They doesn't use any extra ammo. Pharaoh Shot's a broken weapon that lets you charge a lot. Beco wanted that health and then saw the spikes and was like, nope, 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 nope.
I thought he was gonna go for the big health.
Yeah, Beco wanted to do the back boost into this. I think its name is a Whopper, to take it down, and looked at his health and said, "No, I don't want to do that either." Cynan using Bright in Dustman stage. The shield attackers for some reason can get hurt with that. Beco's still going through with the damage boost. He shouldn't take any. Well, no, there's one more place you're scheduled to take a hit on the normal route, and it does 4 hit points of damage.
I thought he was gonna
Cynan's in the lag room. I don't know which screen to watch here. Beco got his hit points. He got a small drop. He has no Pharaoh ammo left.
I thought he was gonna go visit Eddie.
So Beco's he's fishing for a Pharaoh drop now. I think it's much more likely. I think he should be going to kill Ringman even without it. Chelny has a great tutorial for Mega Man 4 8 robots. And I believe as part of that, he has pointed out that, like, Ringman's pattern, once you know it, you can kind of stand in his room all day. And you can stand in his room all day just dodging him for fun. So a Buster fight isn't the worst thing in the world if you just know how to handle that pattern. Cynan's giving me heart attacks in the Dustman Crusher stages. We're not even talking about because this Ringman stage is happening. That's a great ring fight. That's actually the strat. Cynan with the chain slides, going under the Stomper short hop. This game, oh my goodness. So here's Dustman. Dustman sucks. We're kind of obligated to say that almost as if we were talking about bus routes and frame rules. Cynan got the good pattern too. Mega Man 4... beam out happens after all the bubbles from the explosion leave the screen, so you want the Robot Masters centered as much as possible.
So will Beco not give us a heart attack in Dustman?
No, he's gonna go to Pharaoh to give us a heart attack. There's 2 strats for Dustman. One we saw from Cynan was to use Bright. The other is to use Pharaoh with those diagonal shots, and Beco just also demonstrated why that's a lot riskier. It's actually faster if you get it to use Pharaoh by like a second or 2. And, no, we're not going to Bright. Bright's wrong. But, like, the timing there, oh my goodness, he gets the back boost anyway.
Jesus.
Cynan, not going to go for the zip. Just using Bright. So, Bright is going to be the order of the day. That drop.
Oh,
Beco saw the drop, and he wanted to jump over it, and it just didn't work. So Cynan using Bright here to great efficiency. If you don't use Balloon, this is the weapon. By the way, the drum beat here. I'm sorry, I just like Skullman's music. Bright is the weapon pretty much really for all these last few robots. We're going to be freezing the screen. We're going to be sliding across like we've kind of alluded to already. I kind of want to see Beco deal with the rest of Dustman stage. Taking the back boost on purpose. There's a physics change between 1 and 2. He's grabbing the 1-up, good move. And the rest of the series that we didn't mention. 3 is the game where Mega Man always gets knocked backwards out of a hit. In 1 and 2, Mega Man gets knocked back based on the enemy's facing, including which way it was facing when the shot was fired. So Beco is just going to clear out the junk here, not go for a crazy strat. That includes that slide that looked crazy, but trust me, you have a lot of room. Skullman only reacts to you, so this entire fight is scripted from Cynan. The only thing we don't know is how long the Skull Shield's going to last. And in classic Speedgaming speedrun race fashion, the player in the lead gets the good RNG from the boss.
So in technicality, you could literally just stare Skullman down.
Oh yeah, you can walk into Skullman's room, and if you're having a bad day, you want to show off to your friends, just stand there, do nothing, wave to the crowd. It's great. And Skullman will just sit there. The only thing you will notice is that Mega Man will blink first. Skullman, in fact, will not blink at all. Beco also with a very clean Dustman fight. Gets out of there easily after all that. Oh, of course, physics changes that we keep forgetting to mention. Mega Man 3, you can jump out of slides underwater. Mega Man 4, 5, and 6, you can't. It's impossible. The technology's been lost. Won't be found again until Mega Man 7.
I guess Intel's not inside.
Something like that. I don't think those commercials were out by the when Mega Man 4 came out. That was a whale, by the way. It looked like a little blue line in the water. Let's shout out the Skull Zip here. Beco's going to do this because they had to implement crushers. Either that or because they figured out, wait, people can zip. Pick your headcanon. You can't zip in Mega Man 4 unless you're in iframes. So, Cynan, why? Oh no, he is going down. What's he? He's fooling me. I thought he fell off a ledge here. I need a drink. The last few stages have been too exciting for me.
Apparently so.
But yes, that zip at the beginning is the only real human viable zip for Mega Man 4. Cynan using an extra bright here. That may or may not be okay.
Oh, no.
Got right to the edge before he tapped left. That's the wire pit, by the way.
Yeah, and that sends you backwards.
So Cynan's in a spot right here. He's gonna wait for these spikes to get out of the way. He used that extra bright on the previous screen. When Beco gets to that screen, you're probably gonna see him switch to Skull, as the sort of record strats do. Bright is the next best thing to still use there, so he's probably a little unhappy that whale got frozen as high in the air as it did. That just led to needing to mash a little faster, a little harder, and well, it's harder. Here's Dive Man, who drills across the ground. Dive Man will always do the same thing based on how far away he is from you, but he'll only do the same thing in a row 3 times. So as long as you know that, you can handle that fight pretty easily. Skull Barrier, it's a very basic skull kind of shield weapon. A very basic skull shield weapon, Mr. Cab, are you sure? But yeah, it's very effective at what it does, and it makes short work of Dive Man. I am going to get a drink. Concert, talk about Drill Man stage.
I feel like Drill Man and Dive Man's names are mixed up. So this is going to be the stage where we're going to be using a lot of Bright, because we're just going to use Bright and slide as much as possible. Because, like Cap said, Bright only lasts for 5 seconds, but while you're sliding, the counter's not counting down. So as long as you're sliding, it does not count.
That's exactly right.
Welcome back. You got your drink?
I'm armed with more Pepsi.
Only Pepsi?
Only Pepsi. Well, we can have that conversation another day. This is a family-friendly stream. But, like you said, Bright, it only lasts 5 seconds when you're sliding. We've said this a few times already, but this next screen really shows it. It doesn't count down while you're sliding. If you are named Chelney, you can get through this entire screen on that one bright, and it's amazing. There are some other people that can do it too.
I did not realize you can do it with just one.
Yeah, just one. Most people on that last jump, or somewhere around there, sign in, making it happen a little bit before then isn't too surprising with a missed hop. But yeah, you need that extra bright to get through that screen, and it's just a function of perfect slide shading to do it.
So, Cap, do you agree that Drillman and Diveman's name should have been swapped?
No, of course not. They got it perfectly. Cynan's fighting Diveman, and Beco's fighting Drillman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks perfect with me.
It's perfect. Seriously, though, Cynan got one dive out of Drillman. The dive missiles arguably seek out a target. And that's why you see that little hop there, actually, because dive really is... I don't know how it aims. But if you're slightly above the target, it tends to be a little more reliable. So you see a lot of runners take a small jump before they fire that dive missile.
So it looks like Cynan is still retaining his one stage lead, but it's dwindling ever so slightly down.
Yeah, Beco, I believe, is number 2 on the Mega Man 4 leaderboard. So Cynan's been doing what he can here.
He's
clinging to this lead.
He's just clinging to the small lead. So, in Toadman, while you're sliding, you have the wind pushing you back. So you want to like jump as late as possible, because if you don't get enough jump height, you will get pushed into a pit.
Worse than that, the function that makes it so you can't jump out of slides underwater has something to do with foreground tiles, like this running water in the sewer. So it's very easy to miss a jump out of a slide there on that screen. And, well, that's a mid-boss. Bye, mid-boss. We always like to joke about this. Like, every magazine, Nintendo Power, GamePro, way back in the early 90s, man, Toadman's a really easy robot master. Go fight Toadman first. This stage sucks. Oh my god, it's awful. It's just, there's a lot of nonsense happening in this stage that makes it very difficult, even if Toadman is arguably one of the easier robot masters in the series. I mean, he has a very devastating attack. It hits the whole screen. All you have to do is keep shooting him, and he'll never use it. Cynan?
Cynan, what are you doing?
Cynan? Oh no!
He got rain flushed.
It happened! While Cynan checks his controller, Beco does take out Drillman.
Did he only have one dive?
I didn't even see, because I was watching Cynan's controller decide to not turn around.
I think it was one dive. I don't know.
That would mean they both got one dive. So, Conster, what's your opinion of Mega Man 5 Robot Master routing? Which one do you go to first?
Starman, obviously.
Not Wave Man.
I mean, if you're a masochist, you do Wave first.
I mean, Nintendo Power told me to go to Wave first. Why do I go to Star first?
I don't know. Because Starman has the better music.
The better music. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Press 1 on your phone if Starman has the better music than Waveman stage. But the real reason we're here in Starman is a utility item by the name of the Super Arrow. We're going to see it in every other stage because it is too good. Nintendo Power had too many Pepsis. So if you're playing the game without ridiculous tricks, Wave First probably does make a fair amount of sense. The moment you know a few tricks, like we're going to see when we finally get there, yeah, Yeah, Star first. Wave is the weapon you would use against Star. It goes right through his shield, making his shield useless, so that you don't have to worry about shots deflecting off of it. Isn't that right, Cynan? You shot him through his shield. What? Starman, what happened with your shield? I was told you had a shield.
Is it a shield? Because it doesn't look like one.
It's not functioning like a shield.
It's not a very effective shield.
It wasn't very effective. The Mega Buster of Mega Man 5 is absurdly powerful.
So that is how Toadman's supposed to go.
Yep. Mega Buster shots are huge. They do a lot of damage. And yeah. The only weird thing is you can't charge while sliding. So as Cynan now clinging to this one-stage lead, the only games left for beco are games he has the world record in, so watch out.
He's gonna, I feel he'll overtake it either here or in very early 6th.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the entire game, we'll see. I think Cynan might be able to hang on to this to at least charge. But we'll see. I mean, Cynan has the lead, and all you can do is play your game in these situations. It's always a little nerve-wracking and a little weird when you realize you have the lead against a heavily favored opponent. And
the question is, does he know he has the lead?
He may not, or may not. This is not a randomizer race, so he is free to look at the restream. There's no knowledge to be gained from watching outside of where he stands.
Oh, Cynan, bro.
No, that's a valid strat. Sliding off that ledge is perfectly safe.
It just looked like he was about to die.
It does. But no, that's a very safe strat. It's almost guaranteed to get you the letter. It's slightly slower than the record strat you'll probably see beco use, but it's perfectly valid. And I mean, we're talking frames. So here's Gravity Man. This fight is scripted. Gravity Man's always going to kind of do this hop around mess. There's a couple of attacks you can go for that can speed up the fight by, like a second or so. Beco taking a hit, which is unfortunate because one other change between Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5, in Mega Man 5 and 6, if Mega Man gets hit, he will lose the Buster charge. He'll have to start charging all over again. So when you're fighting a boss and you get hit, all you've got is a lemon on the other side of it. There we go in chat. Starman uses Star Crash. It's not very effective. So you got to see got a taste of that super arrow back in Gravity Man stage. We're about to see more of it here in Gyro Man stage.
Mega Man 5, where you learn to love the super arrow.
I love using that subtitle. Oh, don't. Okay, he stayed on the ledge. So all that staying at the edge of the arrow is actually with purpose. It costs 2 ammo. Oh no. To fire the arrow, but when it goes across the screen, I think like 2 frames or every frame you're standing on it, something very silly like that, it drains ammo and it goes fast. So walking off the front, you can't actually walk off the front. Oh, he thought too late to go for it. You can save ammo, and that 1 point of ammo he had was what he wanted to kind of get up higher on the next screen. And so it looks ridiculous. It even actually slows the game down just a little bit, but not enough to make it not worth doing. So that's a lot of Mega Man 5 tech. And that's honestly where Cynan might be in trouble. Beco, despite everything that's happened so far, like we've said, is only a stage behind. And Cynan here having that little slip up. No death, but you can see how fast the super arrow crosses a screen. Every time you lose the arrow crossing a screen, that's a literal eternity you just lost.
Yeah, and he's just giving time back to Beco.
And again, well, I mean, the one thing you could say is, I'm talking Beco has the world record in Mega Man 5. Beco has the world record in Mega Man 6. By the way, Gravity Hold is a full screen attack. Just don't hit Gyro Man's iframes. You've got it. Easy.
As we'll say, respect the iframes.
Respect the iframes. All due respect, not hit the iframes there. Sorry, Mr. Gyro Man. But yeah, Beco has the record in 5. Beco has the world record in 6. Beco's number 2 on the Mega Man 4 leaderboard. Beco's taken 1,000,000 deaths in this race. Also, Cynan needs to, like we've been saying, just keep playing the game. Make Beco take the lead back. That's all you can do.
Gyro or Gyro, man?
This is Gyro Man. Beco firing that arrow a little high, firing the arrow a little high again. So he's not going to have ammo left for this screen like Cynan did, but again, it's not that bad. It's a little extra movement. Cynan, do we pretend to not know what Cynan's doing?
I think he's just really bad.
Okay, so Cynan's being bad at Crystal Man. He's definitely not setting something up. Well, that happened.
Yeah. Why is it taking forever to load back in?
Probably because there were too many sprites on the screen, and at the end of the sprite array is the X position of Mega Man and the respawn timer, and so when all those bubbles appeared, it rewrote some values in them that put Cynan past the end of the stage, and he's going to respawn in 40 seconds. Just a guess.
Something like that.
I still can't believe this actually works. So the main reason you don't see this in a lot of any percent runs is it means we don't actually get to play Crystal Man stage, and there's a beat letter in there. Many people out there watching this may be familiar with Mega Man 5 and the fact that those beat letters, you need to collect them all to use beat, and that is extremely useful in the castle stages. But we're not playing the castle stages, so in this category especially, yeah, just do the crystal.
You decide to do beat list.
Well, then you're named Beco and you have the world record.
Yeah.
Stupid bird.
But I thought it's a smart bird.
It's debatable. We're getting deep into Mega Man memes here if you're watching this casually. And again, we love having new members of the community, so do check out the Mega Man leaderboards. Do say hello. We'd love to have you.
And we would absolutely love to help you learn whichever game of choice it might be.
I want a Gyro now. You've got me thinking about this. Weird things about these tigers, and again, like things that you'd never notice playing the game. The tigers don't jump until you either get close to them or you press B. So kind of like Metal Man, way back in Mega Man 2. As long as you just release that charge shot and don't press B, the tiger's just going to sit there and say, oh, wow, big charge shot's flying at me. That's weird.
Okay, he made through without getting crushed.
I thought he was late.
Yeah, I thought he was late too. But another thing is you can use Star Crash to just... and they'll instantly kill him.
What was that extra shot from Beco? That was... I think he's fine, but that was weird looking.
I didn't know that's a thing.
I guess it reduces lag on the... That's beautiful, by the way. So Cynan using some more super arrows deep in Napalm Man stage, now using Gravity Hold. There's a so slightly faster but much more technical strat to switch immediately to the Crystal Eye, which is Napalm Man's weakness. But Gravity Hold, again, just great full screen weapon. Might as well use it.
And Beco gets into the corridor before Cynan does. So here's a question I got. Do you think either of these runners are dedicating the chicken room to anyone?
I'm not sure if that chicken room's getting a dedication today. It might.
I know it got a dedication last week. So Beco's got 4 robos left, whereas Cynan's got 3. But Beco's time is slowly dwindling away.
Yep, Cynan, like we were saying, just needs to keep holding this. Beco had a great chance to make up some time in Gyro Man stage and made the exact same mistake that Cynan did. So no time lost, but no time gained.
Like, I feel if he's gonna gain any time back, you know, he's got to capitalize on any of these small mistakes that Cynan's making.
I would say the Beco's probably playing slightly better overall as far as, like, once you take out the major mistakes. Like, Beco's strats are still saving time over what Cynan's doing. It's part of the reason he's still here along with Cynan's minor mistakes.
Squeaks did not live today.
Squeaks deserved it.
He knows what he did.
He knows. It's another one of these 3 arrow setups to just fly over an entire screen. And, like, right, you can just see how fast he's going. Stone Man stage notable because we actually get to see Rush Jet. We've used too much Super Arrow. There's more things to fly over, so make the call.
1-800-RJET.
We take no responsibility if you actually call that number. Beco with a nice napalm kill. Napalm is a little laggier if you get in his face and he uses the lob attack. So we like staying far away from napalm, so he fires the 3 missiles across the screen.
Yeah, like, Beco's definitely making up some time.
Somebody tell me which stone is the actual happy stone. Because Stone Man always looks like he's smiling before he crumbles into an invincible pile of bricks.
It's the one where he just constantly jumps.
No, that's true. Whereas R Marine is R Marine I think is also a valid number. 1-800-RUSH JET also a valid number as the full word. Again, don't actually call it. We don't know what's on the other side.
Call it your own risk.
Don't fall for spam. So it is also worth noting we just got the weapon that, you know, as much as it's hyper bomb or maybe even water wave, Power Stone is beloved as a terrible weapon, and it's really bad. Cynan with a nice first screen arrow. Let's go. I think that's good.
It looks good.
Yeah, you can kind of tell from the background which level of that fence he's on. And again, right, just flying over a screen, no matter how slightly laggy it might be, it's going to be even laggier if you've got to do it on foot. So this is the chicken room. I think we're both kind of rushing back to the race room to make sure there's nothing there. I don't see anything, so we are forced to dedicate this chicken room once again to BJW.
When in doubt, dedicate to BJW.
I don't know why, but we're just going to do it. I haven't seen a small drop here. This last screen does have an arrow setup. And usually it's that first train on this screen is what we're looking for to see a small drop by. Or a large drop, that's fine too. Then you get... Beco's having a time on this last screen of Stone Man stage. Being able to arrow over the last screen is another nice little time save, but it's completely RNG. So Cynan's going to come into here with a half charge, because I believe that's the fastest moving bullet in the game. Jumps over for the full charge to do 3, and now we get to see Power Stone. Forget Water Wave, forget Power Bomb, Hyper Bomb. Power Stone's awful, to the point that we're pausing the game to despawn the damn thing. I think... No, that was 4 hit points. Cool. Can someone explain the chicken room dedication to the unawares? Like the Colonel just said, it's a joke that BJW used to make that got out of control. I actually didn't even know that much. I just knew everybody did it. It's probably one of, at this point, a pretty old Mega Man 5 community joke to dedicate your chicken room in the middle of the run just as a joke to something. So whenever you're streaming this game, whenever you're playing it, Pick your favorite friend, pick your favorite meme of the day, and dedicate your chicken room today. BJW, also a Mega Man runner of some fame. Beco with a nice arrow. Cynan getting to show off the charge kick, which somehow gets lost in this worst weapon discussion. I still really don't like it. It does let you slide through these puffs of smoke, which is nice. But it's only a useful weapon while sliding. It does that.
Oh no.
Are we going for it?
Oh.
Just missed the bubble skip, but he's still on the screen. He got to the big bubble, so
yeah.
Not losing time on the screen. In fact, he's gaining time on the first screen.
And Beco got the last screen arrow.
Oh, there you go.
And unfortunately, Cyan is taking the boat of shame.
Oh, you're saying boat of shame. It only saves a second and risks a soft lock. There's no reason for Cyan to go for that skip right now. You can stay out of the boat, and all it really does is it risks a soft lock. It saves maybe a second, but it also lets you kind of skip this entire section and use a charge shot on this mid-boss, which is probably where the second you save comes from.
I think it's actually it might be exiting the boat because he has to walk across that screen.
Yeah, in a race situation, it's generally just not worth it this late in the game to go for that boat skip. When you're going for the record, yeah, go for it. So this will be the stage where they're both in it at the same time, just because Waveman's a really long stage. He got the letter.
He got the letter.
That's the easiest one to miss. It doesn't matter for this category. He's a little low on health here. This might be an adventure.
Who knows? He might just take an intentional death right here.
He might want to. Charge kick leads to a lot of damage getting taken. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. So
Okay, but...
it's a good tactical death, but it's also one that he probably wishes he just didn't take all that damage in the auto scroll section to necessitate it in the first place. Beco, by the way, did get boat skip, so we get to see it.
So boat skip, you literally can just run off the other side of the screen and just fire charge shots, you know, it does nothing.
Waveman with charge kick, pretty fast fight. Very damaging fight, because you can't go through Waveman's water spouts. So, Cynan out of Mega Man 5 NES. Yes, I had to say that at some point. Into Mega Man 6, the last game of our run. Bring us Holden win, man. Physics changes. That Buster shot got nerfed. It was too big. It was too good. Also, jumping out of slides got nerfed. Can't do it anymore. Push A in a slide, you just stand up.
They said it's too good. It's like, nah.
It's too good. Can't do it. So, there's two techniques you're going to hear a lot of in Mega Man 6 speedrunning. Turn canceling, back canceling for slides where you tap the opposite direction of your slide to stop it. Typically left, but sometimes it's right. And A cancel, where you will push A to, again, stand up in your slide, at which point you might want to push A again. They both have uses. Sometimes there's a very subtle difference, usually on ice, to how a Mega Man reacts from them. Beco's over there taking out Waveman. Cynan's halfway through Windman stage. It's got the 20-second gap still. Beco's got to sit there and wait. But, again, right?
Beco's right on his heels.
No real change through Mega Man 5. Beco probably gained a little bit. So, like we were saying, Cynan just needs to play the game and force beco to catch him.
Like, I feel if he's gonna catch him, it's gonna be like somewhere near the end.
At this point, yeah. If he got that gyro arrow, I'd think this would be a little bit closer, but here we are. And of course, Cynan also had to take that extra death in Wave Man, which gave a little bit of time back again. If you're just joining us, beco basically had a time with Woodman, failed the good wood zip, didn't know the backup to climb down the ladder in the corner, and had to input a password. And since then, Cynan's been ahead by about a stage. Beco also had a little bit of trouble in Shadow Man stage and a game over to Needleman. And that's really been the race. Cynan's been making a few not major, but minor mistakes here and there. Beco's had a few other minor mistakes. And here we are.
Yeah, it's
Mega Man 6.
It's just all the little things. But if beco can capitalize on anything in this game, there's a chance.
Yep, and again, beco, world record holder for Mega Man 5, world record holder for Mega Man 6. So if he's going to make a push, he's extremely capable of it. But, I would be remiss to not go back and again mention, like I did in the opening, Cynan actually did qualify for and play Mega Man 6 in the most recent community relay race, 1 through 11. So Cynan, as far as which game is Cynan's game, it might be 6. And he might not be the record holder, but if it's his game, that actually is going to make it harder for beco to come back, because you've got a skilled runner on the other side. So, all that talk, we haven't really been talking about Flame Man stage. There's not that much to it. We forgot to give a shout out to Roland earlier. Roland's a meme name for an enemy earlier on in the stage.
We got a second chance to give him a shout out.
That's true. So we've got the oil slicks. They can be set on fire. That basically turns them into spikes. Routing for Mega Man 6. It's usually Windman at this point. The next best route is really Flame first. But it works out that killing Wind with Buster is faster than killing Flame with Buster. That series of fire pillars that the Windstorm weapon just went right through would deflect Buster shots, which makes going to Wind first much preferable. Both stages are pretty much played Buster only. So that's the only real difference. Beco, by the way, this enemy he's jumping over. Roland! Why?
Why?
Whoa! Rude!
Roland, man.
That was Roland.
He's a jerk.
These other enemies are Roland types. And before Dark Tarek shows up and yells at me, there is another route for this game. It's actually the Game Pro route for this game, Nightman first. It's rarely seen. I love that Chad is also screaming at Roland. We've done our job.
We've done it very preferably.
Oh my goodness. Beco missing a jump just a little bit there. Thought maybe he was going to go for that E-Tank. That is one of a couple of E-Tanks. Did Cynan
Yes,
fall
he
in?
died.
Oh
yes.
no.
He's giving time back to Beco.
Yeah. That jump right there, which I have to imagine was the jump, that's not a trivial jump. It looks like it is, but it's very easy to eat a death there.
So this is one of those stages where you can kind of have like a rubber banding effect while sliding.
Yeah, the ice physics and turn cancels are very interesting. Cynan not going for the Blizzard E-Tank, which is probably even more than the Flame E-Tank, the easiest E-Tank to grab in this game. That looks spooky, that big slide there. I believe that platform is one slide long, or as we like to kind of joke about it, one Raiden long. Shouts to Raiden the Quick, who I believe found just a lot of spots for Mega Man 6 routing where a platform was exactly one slide long. Is Cynan going to go for bomb skip, or is he going to make the rational decision and call me crazy for suggesting it?
I think he's being rational.
Going for the speed jump there. I love it.
I think at this point, I don't expect beco to go for bomb skip. I think he has a good idea that he's probably behind.
Yeah, but you never go for bomb skip.
Especially in a race, because it puts you really far back.
Cynan getting a very nice pattern from Blizzard Man. I believe there was one roll. When Blizzard Man is rolling across the screen, he can only, well, he can't be hurt. So we don't want him to do that. Even if the snowflakes are a little slower as far as like lag goes and everything else, kind of like a few other things in this entire run, we'll take a little bit of lag if it means we can complete things otherwise faster.
That bow was really good on beco's side.
Yeah, beco is playing with purpose right now.
He is playing with a purpose, and he is a madman out to win.
Yeah, I think they both took that damage boost to just to land slightly faster. See, a flame is a very powerful weapon in Mega Man 6. Conster alluded to the fact I like to joke about Mega Man 5 is how I learned to love the super arrow. Mega Man 6 is kill it with flame. Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire.
Flame is a vastly overpowered weapon. It does, I think, 4 hit points of damage on a hit. It has that sweet down arc to its movement. And it's just really good. So we're going to see it a lot. We're going to see it so much, we might even be skipping what would otherwise be obvious uses of the Buster to pop open these platforms and instead decide to land on so-called plant forms and have, like a handful of frames to jump off of them.
Something like that. I think it's like 5 or 6 while you're moving.
And chat is saying the lead is down to about 62 seconds, and you figure the average Mega Man stage is about somewhere between 90 and 120 seconds, minute and a half to 2 minutes. So here's the screen. We got to watch this. The plant form screen. These fish jumping out of the water. This is a really messed up screen. Cynan's not going to play any games here. It looks like he's going to get out the Buster and go.
And he had the health to do it, but I just don't think he feels comfortable.
Oh, yeah, it's not even a matter of health. It's the fact that you do have frames to jump off those plant forms.
But here's the bigger question.
Yeah, Shad is saying it's still a pretty big lead, and it is. But like Concert, take it away.
Streamer 1-6 hit.
You gotta see if he gets a 6 hit. Oh no,
Oh,
Streamer.
no.
So, you can get Plant Man kind of trapped in a pattern where he tries to run after Mega Man to Mega Man's position, and however they did the logic for that, if Mega Man is already on the position, beco's by the way doing the platforms right now, just crushed it. Then Plant Man just doesn't know what to do and runs.
Beco's a bad man.
Yeah, Plant Man will do it a full lap, and we're probably going to see it on beco's side. So this is probably the easiest time save for beco the rest of the run, but Cynan's still through the stage already.
But beco was playing with fire with that fish.
He was. He had flame equipped. 4. That's 6.
And beco got him to die on the right side. So we haven't talked about the right side. So in the right side, it'll actually create less lag if they die there.
It's a true statement, and nobody knows why. Not even the Tashers. We just know it works. So beco decimating Plant Man. Cynan normal defeating Plant Man. So, like we kept saying, right? A strong runner versus the world record runner. You gave him a stage head start. Let's see what happens. Tomahawk Man as a stage itself, while we're kind of just loving this race, this stage is kind of exactly routed for flame ammo. I think Cynan's picked up a drop by now to have that much left. We expect if there's no drops for beco, beco will finish the stage with 0 flame ammo left. Both killing opposite mid-bosses there, so you get a chance to see the differences of the screen. Yep, you can just kind of see Cynan. He doesn't have bad movement, but beco's movement's just oh so slightly cleaner. And that's what's going to make this race close. I mean, Cynan just needs to, like we keep saying, play his game, make beco catch him. Tomahawk Man is another kind of good example of this, because Tomahawk Man is weak to a shield weapon, and then we're going to have exact weapon. Conster, respect the iframes.
Yep. This is one where when you're starting out, it's definitely a hard fight to learn. Because you have exact ammo.
Welcome, Raiders, to the end of this great, intense race. beco trying to make a comeback here against Cynan after some early mistakes. A couple of other mistakes here, because beco is now out of flame ammo. It's not that bad, but, you know, we're talking about he needs every last second he can get. There go 2 or 3 of them. Only 3 robots left. One other thing we didn't talk about, changes between games. Mega Man 6 notably has the longest duration of iframes for bosses. So when you're going through 6 games in a row and you get to a boss where you have to wait because you have exact ammo to kill it, you have to kind of keep that in mind after playing the first 5 games. Wait an extra second, whatever the actual amount of time is.
Yeah, and all that time just keeps adding up. And beco's like, hurry. He's just like, hurry up. It's like he hasn't not done yet.
Oh, beco is probably getting to a point where he's looking at the race chat. Honestly, they both probably are. If they're not watching the stream, they're both staring at the race chat like, where's the other guy? Where are they?
Oh
no! So it's worth noting that in Mega Man 6, pit deaths are actually really fast. So if you're going to take a death in Mega Man 6, you want it to be in a pit on the first screen of the stage. Unfortunately, well, obviously beco needs the time overall anyway. Cynan's death earlier also in a pit on the first screen of the stage. So neither one necessarily, game-breaking, but they just traded the time back. So Cynan with a little more breathing room against Yamato Man. Some would say Yamato Man is kind of impossible compared to, earlier Robot Masters, but we know what's going on here. Cynan's taking a lot of hits, though. So Yamato Man's not allowed to do the same thing more than twice in a row, and he can only do 2 things. So if he does either the spear throw on the floor or the jump twice in a row, you know what's coming next, and you can start getting ready for it.
So Cynan left that stage at 52. And let's see where beco's going to leave it at.
Probably 36 at this point. I'm going to throw that out there.
That sounds about right.
Cynan into Nightman stage. Nightman has a shield. It actually does work better than Starman's, but not much like Starman's, it gets blown away by the weakness weapon. But first we get the so-called ceiling skip. Let's see. He's going for the pause method. Oh my god. You can see when he paused the game, the spikes kept moving. There is room underneath those spikes, but Mega Man likes to stand up sometimes he doesn't. It's weird. Just trust me.
Like it's about a minute.
And so that death gave him a lot of time back.
Yeah, it's gonna require a big death on Cyan's side.
Well, any death later in the stage at this point might be it. Cynan doesn't really have room to kind of give up yet, as it were, or coast to victory. He's got to keep pushing. But he can play, maybe not pushing. Cynan did get through the rush jet segment of the entire run.
Oh, beco!
That's a strat. It's terrifying.
Yes.
As Cynan deals with the mad nerds. That is a strat. What I was kind of alluding to earlier, that spike ceiling does act as a ceiling. Mega Man won't stand up out of his slide once it's low enough. But timing it, you saw Beco pause and wait, knowing he had to wait for the moment. It's terrifying. Cynan with a little hop there to actually avoid a ceiling clip. Good bouncy castle room from Cynan. Even with a little bit of mad nerd trouble, he's having a pretty clean Nightman stage. We're not even talking about the fact that Yamato spears go up and down because this race is just too much fun now. This is good. So as promised, Nightman does have a shield. It just doesn't block spears.
So
Blocks buster shots pretty well. Nightman just saying, go, 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 go.
So technically, you can get Nightman to run like Plantman, but it's really impossible.
I don't even think I knew that one. And certainly with Nightman shield being less effective, don't need him to. Last stage.
I don't expect Cynan to go Miracle Jump.
Centaur Man. Yeah, he did not go for the Miracle Jump, which is a very low jump under one of these like Metroid-looking enemies. So this is going to probably be the make or break section for Cynan, and I know there's more, but these spikes. Whew. Night Crush is actually a very effective weapon. It's a shame we get it so late in the run. It has the diagonal shooting properties that we love from so many other weapons across the series. This is the checkpoint room, so Cynan has made it halfway through the last stage. He's going for that strat. Again, that's the checkpoint room, so it's not as big of a risk as far as what if he takes the death.
Yeah, it's a very small risk.
So into the flying subroom.
Is he gonna go for a ladder jump?
He is. Dude, go, go, go.
No!
What are you doing? Beco also getting the spike slide. Very nice. He must know what the situation is if he went for that. He has to.
He has to know.
Otherwise, if you're looking over and you see you're winning this race, there's absolutely no reason to go for that.
Unless you're getting it first try and then you're like, I'm out.
Centaur will only flash the screen if neither of you are in iframes. So, as we used to say, Cynan has done something wrong. Okay, we got that hidden. Don't waste all your ammo, Cynan. Beco's right here. Oh my goodness. With a race time.gg time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 5 seconds. Cynan has knocked off Beco. Get your GGs out in chat. Beco still right behind him, finishing up. Race time has a 1:52.31. We can see both times on screen, actually about 2 seconds ahead of that, which pretty much matches up. Get your GGs out for Beco, who again has put up a very good time here. And just put on a show, despite everything we saw here. My goodness. We're going to get these links up in chat while we figure out if they want to come in for an interview. Please follow the runners. And I'm going to chat with them for 1 second here. That was a race. yeah, definitely follow them. If you are watching this on one of the recordings later on in life, their Twitch channels are just like they're spelled here on the stream. Twitch.tv/beco. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that one. And twitch.tv, well, it's spelled right there, CynanMachae, who is joining us here in the booth. What's up, Cynan?
Hello.
Congratulations. What a run.
Yeah,
What a race.
I cannot believe that happened, but yeah. I guess beco
So-
had it pretty rough.
Oh my! I'm like trying to think back here because you went for those ladder jumps in Centaur, man. You must have known.
Yeah, I checked just before Centaur and I was almost one half of a stage ahead, so I should be fine. Then Centaur started teleporting around, so I got a bit scared. But
So, I mean that's kind of really the question here. Is that at what point did you realize that there was a chance? And I mean, yeah, like walk us through it. What were you thinking coming into the end game here?
yeah, well, I saw I was ahead after Mega Man 2 because I was checking between games. But then I knew that it was really not that much of a lead and he will catch up to me pretty fast. But then I saw after four, I think I was still ahead and I started to think maybe I have a chance. So I had a pretty good Mega Man 5. And Mega Man 6 started pretty slow and safe, but then the last fourth stage went pretty well, I think. So I knew I could, as long as I didn't die, I had a chance.
So I don't know if you know exactly what happened to get you that tremendous lead.
Yeah, someone told me in my chat that he had a problem in Goodwood, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he didn't die in Goodwood, but he wasn't aware that there's a spot in the bottom left that you can go down a ladder and die.
So he had to reset, I guess?
Yes, he reset it and had to password.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah,
then,
that's a big time loss.
And then he had some issues in Shadow Man stage.
Okay, yeah. Makes
I think
sense.
he game over in
I think it was
Needle?
Needle. Yeah. Beco's really not even 30-second loss here boils down to a game over in Needle because he ran out of Gemini. A couple of deaths in Shadow because Shadow with top spin is a thing.
Yeah.
And you even had a death there too.
Yeah. Drops.
And yeah, the Goodwood, it's not even that. It was his second attempt at Goodwood when he thought he was soft locked.
Oh,
he had an
once.
interesting. He ended up in an interesting space earlier, but he had bats on screen, so he was able to take a death on that one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that explains a lot in Mega Man 2.
So I guess what do you credit your win to, and why is it Magnet Man?
Magnet first. Yeah, Magnet first is safe, I guess. Much safer. And I guess the later game I probably my better game, so as soon as Mega Man 1 was out of the way, I could breathe a bit.
Yeah, because we saw. I mean, a lot of people don't like the long fire zip. That thing is a beast.
Yeah.
We might need to get you learned up on some of the magnet beam strats for that last screen and zipless later. But otherwise, yeah, like you said, a safe, steady Mega Man 1, and you kind of took it from there.
Yeah, I think I had that in Mega Man 3 and 6 probably, but aside from that, it was good enough.
So Mega Man 4 at Toadman, I just kept seeing you fire the other direction. So what was going on there?
I have no idea. I was sure I was turning around, but for some reason I was shooting the wrong way. I don't know.
We didn't know if you were just trying to meme or
no.
or like you're having controller issues.
Neither, just skill issues.
So, besides having a chat with your controller between races on what left and what right means, Shadow is your next opponent.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be hard. Well, that's beco was hard too, so yeah.
For everybody out there who may not know, as far as seeds in this tournament go, Beco was our number 2 seed on as far as entrance, and Shadow is number 3.
Yeah.
So after this, you just got the Colonel at number 1, although Mad Mega is still out there.
Yeah, that's a rough road indeed.
But
well, I was already fine with my placement today before this match, so I guess it's all bonus from here.
Congratulations, you get to keep playing the category a little while longer.
Yep, indeed.
And we're looking forward to that next race.
Yeah, me too. Should be fun.
So any other shout-outs before we start wrapping up and getting out of here?
Let me see what races we have coming up later this week. I know we have one coming up later this week. Yeah, so Wednesday, September 6th at 10 p.m. we've got Colonel Fatsa versus Mad Mega.
This is our 1 seed against our 8 seed. So definitely check that race out. The Colonel's been in chat this whole time, sharing lots of knowledge. I'm gonna meme that Mad Mega likes a hockey team I don't like, so Mad Mega and I will have words. But that's for another day. Mad Mega is actually an awesome runner as well, and highly recommend watching that race and following both of them. We've got the links in chat again here. Follow Beco, follow CynanMachae. You can follow myself and Conster, just like it's spelled. All the 4 Twitch channels, like they're spelled on the screen right now. Definitely also, if you're interested in Mega Man speedrunning, if you want to get better at doing all the things you just saw here, come on over to megamanleaderboards.net. Join the Discord. We'd be happy to have you. I'd say please run Mega Man 8 and Rockman and Forte, but you know these NES games are a lot of fun too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I feel like I've been forgetting to say this at the end of these races. Shoutouts to Tech and Speedgaming for letting us mess around on their channel and supporting this whole thing. We can't do this without them. And of course, thank you, the viewers, for watching and giving us someone to show off all this stuff to, because otherwise we'd just be talking to ourselves. I'm out of things to say. Cynan, did you want to give a shout out or?
I guess shout out to Melo for organizing this. It was really fun. And it's still gonna be fun.
Conster, any final thoughts?
Just pick a game and learn it.
It's a true statement. So with that, I think we're out of here. Again, Mega Man, our next scheduled race is on September 6th. Sign in. We're going to work with you and get that race with Shadow scheduled as soon as possible. And we'll see you next time. Keep following Speedgaming. Feel free to support all the Speedgaming Live races and prize pools in the community, and we'll see you later. Have a good night. Have a good day. Whatever time you're watching from. We'll see you
later.